Shares in companies such as Kohl's, Opendoor, 1-800-Flowers, GoPro, Krispy Kreme popped at various moments this week. Investors piled in, and there was talk of a reemergence of the meme stocks, classically companies with little value that got bid up because of commentary and swarm trading on social media. Let's get more from Eric Jackson, founder and president of EMJ Capital. Eric, it's great to see you. You talked to Bloomberg here, and you have been cropping up on social media because you held one of these stocks, Opendoor, so you're happy about that. But I don't think you want to be known as a meme stock guy.
No, I kind of take offense to it, Andy. I think all the meme stocks suck. And so why would you want to own AMC? What were the ones this week? GoPro,
right?
Kohl's, Krispy Kreme. I thought they were out of business, or I thought somebody bought them and took them private or something. So these are dead businesses, and I don't know why suddenly they're swept up by the retail community. I think it's also interesting, like. There's all this like negative connotations about meme stocks and about retail being dumb to support them. And I guess I just said, like, I don't understand why they support these names. But, like aside from Roaring Kitty supporting GameStop, I can't remember who else started any of these trends. Like they just kind of take on a life of their own. It confuses me. But Opendoor is definitely a real company that's doing a real turnaround and has the chance to go from it was 70 cents, I think, when I last bought it. I first tweeted about it last Monday, but I think 2 weeks ago it was 70 cents. I think 4 weeks ago it was 50 cents. I think it can go to $82 in a couple of years.
Wow. So Opendoor Technologies, symbol open, trading at around $250 today. It got north of $320 briefly on Monday, but you say you started buying it.
It broke the NASDAQ on Tuesday, Andy. Don't forget. Like this thing almost touched $5 on Tuesday. Wow. Almost 2 billion shares traded, and this thing, and then it got halted. And for some mysterious reason, after like 13 minutes of a halt, it came back online and like it was way down. It was in the threes, and so I don't know what happened. Various people tweet me conspiracy theories about it, but apparently, like once the stock gets above $5, it causes like major short covering. So I don't know. We'll see.
Now, your hedge fund, you have been through some lean years. You got hit by a big withdrawal by a client, I think, when the tech stocks started coming down in 2022.
Yeah, I had this really great guy, happens to be a billionaire many times over, who kind of gave me my break almost 10 years ago now. And he approached me and said, Eric, you seem to have some really like interesting ideas for finding companies early. How about I give you some money to manage? And he said, I don't want you to do any of that activism stuff like you did on Yahoo 20 years ago. Just to kind of pick great companies. So wrote it down in 21 and 22, as you said, and then he decided to redeem his money out, and 99.5% of the assets went with him. And so I wasn't very smart, Andy. I didn't diversify my customer base, or whatever the business school term is. And so I just kind of had to like scrounge around and figure out what I was going to do. And I had lots of these like lawyers and accountants and whoever, directors saying, just shut it down. It's not worth it. You've had this like volatile performance. That's not good for marketing. You should just like close shop, then like reopen in 6 months, and then you don't have to show your old performance. And then it looks great because it's just like up and to the right all the time. But I didn't want to do that, and I just kind of had this sort of blind faith that I'd figure it out, and started building a little AI team. And then we tried lots of stuff. Some stuff works, lots of stuff failed. And then earlier this year, we kind of, I had the light bulb go on that, hey, we got to focus on this idea of like finding 100 baggers, finding these companies that have potential like Opendoor to potentially 100x, which are tough to find, but I think they're out there.
Can you give us any kind of a ballpark figure on how big your fund is right now, Eric?
Well, there's a Bloomberg article about it today. You can go find it. And I mean, I think I used the term like a few million.
A few
So
million.
now, hopefully after this week, and like, there's been a lot of interest. I got an email from some big university endowment today. And lots of other like really amazing people, and some big, some small, like a lot of more individual investors as well. I only take accredited or permitted clients, but my hope is that if we're talking again, Andy, in a year from now, we're going to be much bigger and well on our way, hopefully to $1 billion plus.
And you say that you do need at least 20 million to justify all the lawyer fees and bureaucracy and operating costs.
That's what these smart people around me who I have to pay a lot of money to tell me.
Okay. And it's interesting as well. So these things become self-reinforcing. I guess people knew you were in Opendoor, and Opendoor started popping, and they thought, well, and you showed up in at least one social media posting. Your face was put out there in connection with Opendoor.
Yeah, I mean, for Open, I think I was the first person that sort of tweeted out about it. Now, after I published that tweet thread that said, I'm long and here's why and all that kind of stuff, somebody sent me a Wall Street Bets post from 2 months ago, from May actually, talking about Opendoor being the next 100 bagger or 100x company, like a Carvana, which is also the connection that I made, and that's. And that's one that, I was very early in Carvana. And I think that gave me some credibility when I tweeted out, hey, here's potentially the next Carvana. Now people are hungry to hear what the next Carvana is. I remember I went on TV 2 years ago and said, I really love Carvana here. And nobody wanted to hear about the next Carvana, which was actually Carvana back then, because they didn't even think like a Carvana type of turnaround was possible, going from 400 to 3 to 400. So, but anyway, this Wall Street Bets guy. I don't know who he is. He's anonymous. I've met him on a Discord server, Andy, if you know what that is. And I had to get my 16-year-old to teach me how to log into the Discord server to have a conversation with this guy who wrote the Wall Street Bets posts. And he's super smart. He won't tell me his age or what he does or where he lives in the world. But there's, I've met some. It's amazing how many people are now invested in Opendoor from all over the world who love it, who think this is going to be the next big thing. And, that's what I believe. Maybe I'll be wrong. I've been wrong about Opendoor before, but I don't think I am. I think we're catching this right at the turn here.